Okay, so who wants to do the recap even though the last time we played was literally 2 months ago?
I will.
Okay.
We were in the sewers, and we went through the sewers, fought all the people in the sewers. I almost died.
Okay.
They weren't people.
Fought the bad guys in the sewers.
Okay, so to refresh yourself, why were you in the sewers?
Because we were doing a job for the one dude at the tavern.
Yep.
Gotta
By the
find
name
somebody.
of Volothem Gadarm, a favorite author
Yes.
of Phalles.
Yep, and we were trying to find his friend, I think it was, that was in the sewer that was held captive. Floon.
Friend.
Yes, friend. Air quotes, friend. So we were doing that, and then we found him, and we fought a slime monster.
Mm-hmm.
And then we
You made a friend with
made
a
a-
dark elf.
Yep, made a friend of the dark elf.
I'm sorry, a dark dwarf.
Yeah, dark dwarf. And then
Duergar.
because I saved him from being ensnared, and he helped us out. And then we met a mind flare.
Yep.
Do we know it was a mind flare?
You knew it was because you rolled a nat 20. Wow, that sucked.
Yeah, that's right. I did roll a nat 20, so I knew it was a mind flare. And then he escaped, got into a fight with an orc. I shot him. Orc went down, and then I went up to the orc, and then he attacked me, and I almost died.
Yep.
And then I think Jenna charmed him.
Who's Jenna?
No, it was... Yeah, it's right. It was Sterling charmed him. He let me go, and then he escaped. And then we went back up to the tavern, and he gave us the deed to a house because he didn't have money.
Didn't you try and go after somebody and then you almost died because
That was the orc.
Okay.
Because he was down, and I
That's
didn't
what
Wanted
realize...
to loot the body that wasn't a body.
Yes. And then we...
Orcs have a specific characteristic where when they get reduced down to 0 HP, they actually go back up to 1 in like a
rage.
resilience rage kind of thing.
And I had an orc character, and I knew that, and I forgot about that. So...
Almost.
Almost died of that, and then we got the deed to the house, started searching the house. I went in the wine cellar and found a bottle of wine and fell down, and something trapped me inside the cellar.
Yep.
A ghost, and we got the door off, and we went up to the top part of this thing, and then Shava almost got eaten by a cat.
Because that was a mousy.
Yep. Decided to investigate the second floor as a mouse.
Yep. And then that's about where we ended it.
Yeah. I don't think anything really specific happened when it ended. I think we just decided to call it quits.
Oh, we talked to the neighbor.
Oh, yeah, we did talk to the neighbor a little bit, yeah.
You did?
Yeah, and she told us it was a bar at one point, and then no one's lived there. No one's lived
Oh,
there
yeah,
for a
you
long
guys were
time.
circling around on the outside, and there was an older woman that had called out to you,
Yep.
if memory serves.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you guys are going through the house, and in its dilapidated state, you can almost see a part of it where, at one point in its long and storied past, it could have been a very charming, very nice place to stay, or rent, or even sit down for a nice meal. But in its current dilapidated state of all the windows being busted out, crows on the inside, a strange cat seeming to be lurking around, it's a bit questionable, to say the least. You guys are all kind of exploring. You do have a map in... Yep, that's a map of the area. I'll take one of those, actually. I think one of them's supposed to be mine. Thank you. And you should also have a map of your...
No.
Do you have a map that looks like this somewhere?
That one?
Yep. That is the map of the Troll Skull Manor. Or Tavern, depending on whose ownership it was under at the time. So, is there anything in particular you guys would like to do? You've already investigated it fairly thoroughly.
Yeah.
Come on, and
gone
I
to the
feel
third
like we
floor.
should burn it down and start over.
We haven't gone to the third floor.
Yeah, we never did go to the third floor.
Okay.
It's because I almost got eaten.
Yeah. But I'm a small boy. It's okay.
So let's see here. First,
Oh yeah,
second.
and the stairs were really rickety, so we didn't go up the stairs.
Yeah.
Or at least I
That's
didn't.
why I was a
That's why
mousy.
I know that's why you stayed downstairs, because the stairs were real rickety.
So, if you do want to go up to the third floor, there is a staircase leading directly up from there, from the main room in that. The third floor is comprised of more bedrooms. There seems to be some sort of a library, more bathrooms, all sorts of things like that. You take a look inside of the library, and it's in absolutely total disarray. The ceiling seemed to have collapsed after a leak of something that had happened over many, many years. hard to say exactly what it could have been, but the 20 or so books that are left in the room are completely illegible, and the ones that are up on the shelf have actually swollen with the moisture, so when you go to take one off the shelf, they're like all stuck together, and you pull one book down and like all three of them that are stuck there come down with it.
I thought bookworms were bad.
You try and flip through the pages, but it is just completely crumbling in your hands. Take a look inside of the private bathroom. There's a large copper tub inside of it filled with rust, debris. There is a little bit of water inside of it, and as you kind of start to investigate the room around it, you do hear a little...
And the tub made that noise?
Yep.
I'm gonna go look inside the tub.
Okay.
Oh, God.
Make a investigation check.
You're the only one there, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
A 7.
Okay. And make a dexterity saving throw.
Uh-oh.
A 4.
Okay. You, the bathtub's probably about a good solid 4.5 feet tall.
Probably
Oh,
my
so you
tippy
can't
toes
see
peeking
You're
into
like,
it.
you're like up on your tippy toes. You just barely gain the strength to take a look over onto the side to figure out what this strange noise is. And the moment that you pull yourself up and look over, you hear as you get smacked by some sort of object just going out of the water, slapping you, and retreating back in immediately.
Oh no. And you're by yourself.
Not enough to take damage, but you get a hearty little smack, and it surprises you so much that you end up like hanging off of the tub a little bit and set yourself back down. And all the rest of you hear the sounds of Jamor just getting slapped, almost falling to the ground, and you hear continuous coming from the bathtub.
No wonder why this place is
You
abandoned.
good?
Oh, I'm trying to hold it. I gotta remember my accent for it.
He's Irish.
Yeah. Sorry.
Otherwise,
Slap the accent right off you.
Yeah, I was practicing before I came over the past couple times, and I totally forgot to practice it today. I'm alright. Something just smacked me in the face. I don't know what it was.
Where?
Is there something in the tub? What are you? I'm gonna tap on the tub.
The side of it?
Yeah, I sat on the side of it.
It's a crater. It's a crater.
It's a creature. Would speak with small beasts work in this situation?
You
I'm gonna try talking to the creature.
okay.
It's basic speech though, so it's like.
I also don't know if you can speak to... I don't know if you understand what it's saying.
Okay.
Speak with small beasts.
Yeah.
Is that something you get for being a gnome?
Yeah, for being a wood gnome. Or a forest gnome.
Everyone just keeps looking at the cake. Let's see.
I appreciate that, thank you.
Everyone likes to see an artisan at work.
Yeet.
Mm-hmm.
Forest gnome?
Yeah.
What is everybody else doing in the meantime? Did you just drop it and roll a nat 20?
I rolled a 19. Can I save that?
Nope. Through sounds and gestures, you can communicate simple ideas with small or smaller beasts. Forest gnomes love animals and often keep squirrels, badgers, rabbits, moles, woodpeckers, and other creatures as beloved pets.
Okay.
Sounds like actual animals.
But it could be an animal. I don't know what it is. It could be an octopus.
Fair. No, see why it would be, but you,
Yeah.
Really?
an octopus in the third
No,
floor
he's
pub.
he's
What?
thinking of a TV show.
I have no idea
Sam?
where I am. And
Disenchantment. A little
You and I
squid.
are
Oh, I
outside
forgot
because the
about
stairs
that.
were too rickety.
You guys are outside.
I wasn't
Yeah,
sure if I
we're,
was still in that first
okay.
room.
I don't want to
Down
get
on that, like,
Stage.
balcony-y type thing on the...
I'm gonna take a piece of jerky that I have in my bag
Okay.
and toss it into the tub.
Oh my gosh, you really are doing disenchantment.
Alright, so, you find a little small broken down step stool with, like, one of the legs missing and slowly drag it over. You pull up on top of it and kind of, like, start to lose your balance a little bit. But it does get you a little bit better vantage point on this old copper rusted tub. You grab a little piece of jerky and kind of tear it off a little bit, and the moment that you like start to hold it out, you notice like the water starting to ripple a little bit. Like there's this one large bubble coming out from the center of this probably halfway filled bathtub, and then all of a sudden you notice like other ripples coming from around the side. You drop it, and let it go. And make a quick perception check for me.
6.
You see a flash of like green as in one moment, like you see this large beast grab it and dip back down under, but unfortunately it was so quick and so swift you weren't able to get a good eyesight on it.
I'm gonna try using Speak with Small Beast.
But you would say that it's probably like the size of like a volleyball, maybe.
Okay, so it's a friend. I'm gonna use Speak with Small Beast.
Okay.
Just try to be a friend. Here's another piece. I'm gonna have another piece of jerky.
You toss it back in, and immediately again, and then once this happens, the water kind of like starts to dissipate, and then all of a sudden you see 2 large, round, kind of reddish eyeballs like poking itself up at you, and it's a little frog. Well, it's a very large frog.
It's a very large frog.
Toad.
Okay, I'm gonna use Speak with Small Beast, and
Weren't you already?
Yeah.
yeah, I was, yeah.
Oh,
Sort
okay.
of. I mean, it's not an ability that you only have 1 or 2 things of. It's
Yeah.
literally like
It just exists.
you're not like communicating it like you and I are communicating.
Yeah, it's like gestures.
gestures.
And, yeah.
So you're gonna go ribbit?
Yeah, I'm gonna ribbit at the frog. Would you like another piece if you'd be my friend? And I'm gonna slowly hand him another piece.
Snacks it right out.
Okay. Is this a frog just like the size of him level, or if it's living in a...
It's like the size of a volleyball.
Oh yeah, you said that.
Yeah, so it's like my size.
Yeah.
So I'm like 3'3".
You could ride the frog.
I should have taken it enlarged him.
Down the stairs.
Will you be my friend? And I'm gonna hold my hands out.
Uh-oh.
You do that, and you see this frog just kind of like dip back underneath the water, and completely jump out of it, splashing all over the place. Shava, you notice this display as like you just noticed Jamor kind of like leaning over this wash basin on a little stool, barely holding onto his balance, and this giant splash of water erupting from it, and he's got this gigantic toad the size of his head in his hands.
So my head's the size of a volleyball. I'm a 3'3".
Something like that.
I have a big head.
No one's have big heads.
Well, okay, so larger than you. It's like half your size,
All right,
basically.
all right, all right. So I'm holding it then, right?
Yep.
All right.
And you look down at it, and it's like got this long tongue that just kind of like licks its eyeball and drags back down into its mouth.
I'm gonna start petting it.
So Stitch.
It's a gecko.
And I'm just start petting it and just keep walking around the house.
Make an animal handling check.
13.
I hope it pees
This
on
creature
you.
is half the size of him. Should he have to strength check to make sure that he can carry this thing?
I don't think that's... What's your strength?
10.
I think
He's
that's
illegal.
fine. That's It's not like a monstrous thing. It's just a big-ass toad. So yeah, you just kind of like grab it, and you like hop down from your stool and just kind of like hold it up against yourself. And you start carrying it around.
Like a gooey football.
Yeah, we're just gonna go kind of wander around the house with it now.
The legs are like dangling there as it like looks up at you and just kind of start.
Would you rather? I'm gonna try and communicate with it.
Okay.
Would you rather hop next to me? Can I talk to frogs? Like,
They're not.
You don't have a spell that lets you actually communicate with them. You're
no,
just,
I
like,
know.
I
You're-
do.
You're advanced
Yeah,
holding seeds out to a bird, basically.
pretty much.
You
All right,
can put
I'm
it
gonna
down?
set it down
Okay.
and see if it continues to follow me, and just keep walking through.
Okay. Let's see here. So that was in the private bathroom. What is everybody else doing in the meantime? So you guys went outside.
Kind of waiting to see if he's dying.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's been no commotion. I'm like filing my nails or something.
All right.
Just chilling.
So yeah, you set it down, and you like take a step to one side, and the frog hops in your direction.
I got a froggy friend. Sorry.
Yeah, that worked surprisingly well. One last thing you do notice is you kind of hop down from your stool that the rest of the water is still kind of like shimmering and dissipating. Make one last perception check for me.
Tadpoles.
Not good?
I rolled a 2.
grimy water and kind of coppery reflections on the surface. It's hard to tell exactly what was in there, but there was something else in there as well.
The female frog.
Okay, well, me and my froggy friend are gonna go walk around the house.
Okay. So the rest of the third floor is kind of, it's in the same state as the rest of the house. Broken out windows. There's a few crows just kind of hanging around, cawing aggressively at you guys, but flying out once they've entered into the room. Pretty much everything is
I would like to offer
same.
the crows shiny things. I want the crows to be
Okay. So as you guys are hanging out outside, you do actually see some of the crows starting to depart from the building and like take perch on the building opposite from where you are and kind of like almost scope the place out, like waiting for people to leave so they can go back into their home.
Oh.
I'm gonna offer them little copper coins.
Okay. Make an animal handling check. You grab one of your copper coins out from your bag and kind of like start holding it up into the air, and it seems like you can't quite grab its attention, unfortunately. They seem more preoccupied with what on earth is happening inside of their home than they are a stranger handing things out to them. As you're doing that, though, you do notice you guys are kind of standing on the small porch that's kind of hanging out outside of this tavern, and you put your coin away, and you do notice that there's a hooded figure that's kind of like standing in the middle of the road looking at the tavern and kind of looking at you, hood up, about humanoid size.
Perception check.
You're inside. So that
Why
would be...
was
I thought you were outside.
You were-
I thought I was outside.
Oh, you were on the second floor. I don't think you ever went downstairs.
Yeah.
I was getting chased by a cat.
You were still on the second floor. I don't
I
think.
got scared.
I think you guys are still inside the building scoping things out,
Okay.
and you and
Sterling.
Sterling have gone outside, and you see this kind of strange hooded figure staring outside.
Can I help you?
That's curious.
What?
What?
New ownership in the tavern. I assume as much. And he
Tentatively.
he takes his head he does not take his head off.
Head right off.
Just self-murder right there.
Like a Lego man.
He removes his hood, and you see a gold dragonborn kind of standing there. At this point, you notice when his cloak starts to shuffle, he's got tons and tons of books lining the inside of his robe.
Bailey's best friend.
Oh dear.
I am curious, if you don't mind my asking, what brought you to such strange land ownership?
Doing good, saving people, you know.
A reward, then. Most noble. My name is Risham, by the way.
I have a toad friend.
They have a book.
Sorry.
A notebook?
The notebook.
I'm very excited about my froggy friend. I will wear him like a backpack.
Oh no.
Nope. It's that multicolored, pretty one that I
Sounds
Oh,
like you're
yep.
gonna kill him.
No, he's my friend.
Yeah, but you have that crazy look in your eye, like you're gonna kill me.
How do I... I lost my notes. Oh, that's right, I was taking notes on my notes. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, what did you say your name was?
Rashon?
My apologies. Risham. R-I-S...
Real talk with it. How do you spell that?
R-I-S-H-A-A-L. And he is a gold dragonborn.
So sparkly.
I knew somebody named Rochelle.
I knew her Rochelle as well.
Me too.
She was one of my managers out in Chicago.
The one I knew was a twin.
Oh, that's cool.
Thought I was a whore.
Are you friends of Vola's?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, she was funny. Sorry, I got distracted.
Very well.
Cuteness.
Well, I certainly hope that you find your time in the Northwood to be an enjoyable one. My shop is just down there. And he motions off towards the western side of the alley there.
What kind of shop do you keep?
All sorts of curiosities, but
bless you.
Mostly of the library kind. Tomes, scrolls.
Bailey's eyes widen. Like, stories? Of all types?
I do love a good story,
Whose
but
this is?
it is a rather large collection
I
of
have it.
fiction, non-fiction,
Oh, that's
textbook.
mine. That's Bailey's. But I used
Historical things.
Shoes just
Many.
stepping on it. So
I'm a bit of a collector, you could say, although from time to time magists and all sorts of people do tend to find themselves needing a good book.
Where did you say that was again?
What?
Just
Just down here
down the road.
to the west.
Well, I'm sure
Bookworm's
we will.
treasure.
I love it. There it is. I can go down the street.
because where are we?
We're here.
We're here. And he's here.
It's in walking distance.
Oh,
I mean, we walk everywhere, but
True.
it's close.
It was a pleasure making your acquaintance, my dear.
Parchment.
And he like leans in to
Bailey takes
ask you your name.
an elaborate bow. Bailey Winsinger.
Fairly Winsinger, and of course,
I'm sorry, I can't do these here. Almost said Lindsay Sterling. Sterling Silver.
and Sterling Silver. A pleasure making your acquaintance.
Yours as well.
I'm sure
Should
we
you have-
will be visiting you.
Should you have any questions
that's
about
great.
your new home or the history of our town, or if you'd just like to stop by for some tea, please feel free to drop in for a visit.
I'm not there.
We don't
I
know
can't
about the
ask.
ghosties, me and Sterling, so we're just kind of like, so.
Random guy. New neighbors.
So.
So as he kind of like puts the hood back up and kind of like hides his arms in his sleeves and starts to make his way down the way towards his shop, you do see Volo kind of like happy stumbling in your way, the way that a large jolly man would. Large hat, feather stuck in the side of it. He's got a couple of books and ink pots hanging off of his robe, and kind of like walks up to you all jolly, like, let's see here. Fairly Winsinger, Sterling Silver.
Oh, dear.
Tell me, how do you like the place?
Well,
It's-
we're just getting around and
Definitely
checking
a
things out.
fixer-upper.
It certainly is, but I think that you will find the time it is quite charming.
I
well,
hope
what
so.
do you know about the place? Anything?
Well,
Like what
you
it
see,
used to be or history?
you guys can come down now if
Okay.
you want to.
Yeah, I'll come down. Is my toad still? My frog still with me? He's my
Uh,
friend forever.
He hops down like the stairs with you. The door to the second floor was jammed, as you recall, but you're able to unlock it from this side. So you're able to make your way down and around the back entrance. So you're actually coming up along the street from where you guys are. The frog, the moment that it like steps out into the sunlight, just kind of like and like hops back.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Ghost
I
frog?
have my jester outfit in my bag. I'm gonna put my see if he'll like if I put my shirt over top of him or the coat for it if he'll come with me.
Okay, so you make like a little handy knapsack almost by like making a little draw sack with a shirt and like tying the ends of it up, and you like hold it out in front of him, and he kind of like looks back up with you with those like great big unblinking frog eyes.
Get in! Come on, get in!
Make another animal handling check.
You kidnapping him.
A 12.
Are you doing anything, or are you just like
just holding-
motioning this?
I'm like kind of
this
trying to
sack?
motioning him into like holding it out in front of him until it kind of like doing like this number.
He kind of like starts to back up a little bit, and like He gets his butt in the air and kind of like starting to wiggle back, and you kind of like slowly hinge the sack forward and like grab him by the butt and just like scoop him, and he kind of like tumbles into the bag. So like you've got him with his haversack, and you've got it like tied up, and you see a couple legs just like sticking up as it's got its back in the sack, and the legs are just like sticking up and kind of like flailing in the air.
That poor baby.
It's like a little kid.
It's at this point you look down and you see like the breathing sack of this frog just like
So upset. He is not happy with you.
No, alright, I'll set him back down.
you set it back down, he kind of like tumbles back into place and just hops back towards the bathroom.
Okay. I lost my froggy friend.
I mean, you have a pretty good idea of where to find him at this point.
Yeah.
But...
Lasted longer than I expected.
I mean, if it was much bigger, it would eat him.
Yeah, that is true. So you guys make your way downstairs after this whole debacle, and you do see Volo having a conversation with Phaley and Sterling here in the middle of the street. Regular hustle and bustle of the daytime. It's probably sometime at about midday, so there are a few comings and goings. The alleyway is mostly completely empty. However, the actual streets themselves are fairly lively. Rickshaws, drawn carts, tending to go from place to place, people on their merry way. Do you guys want to say anything as you approach, or are you just kind of like joining in on the conversation?
Guys, this place is haunted.
Oh?
There's ghosts.
I found a frog. He was my friend for a bit, and then he went back upstairs.
I saw.
I'm glad you have made many friendships here.
I don't know if we're exactly welcome in this place.
Well, you see, I don't know much about this place, but in the time that I did spend here, it at least was never hostile toward me.
Well, it locked him in the basement, for sure.
Well, it does tend to have its quirks, you see. Spectres, in my time of research, do tend to have certain goals, and when things get in the ways of those goals, they don't tend to like the outcomes.
Do you have any ideas of who we could speak to about possibly reasoning with or relocating a specter?
These spirits.
Well, you see, I'm not the holy man.
Can you point us in the correct direction?
Well, there is the House of Holy Hands. You could speak to someone. Perhaps they could help you drive the spirit out or find what it
Are you
wants.
a cleric?
No, I'm a paladin.
Although there are many different means of contacting the spiritual world.
Can I see if, having grown up at a shrine, see if I know anything?
Make a religion check.
In the meantime, where might we find these holy hens mentioned?
That's a non-natural 21, obviously.
It is also in the North Ward. You see, if you go down, blah, 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 blah. I believe, I can't read upside down that well, but I believe it's there.
Holy
right there.
Hand's house.
Yep.
But I ended at 21.
You did 21? Okay.
So I was
And
just
you were-
being dumb earlier, and now I know everything.
So, what exactly were you trying to ascertain from this check?
If I knew anything about, like, communicating with, putting the spirits to peace, etc., so forth, from growing up at a shrine.
So, you know that, the way that the afterlife works, there's still people that have their own interpretations of it, but the widely accepted theory is that, there's a god known as Athreos, the god of passage. People consider him as a sort of river guide, divine ferryman of sorts, who will take those who have passed and help them reach their final destination. Spirits, specters, ghouls, whatever you want to consider them, are people that have not yet embarked on the river passage for some reason or another. They have another means tying them to the world.
Gotcha. Okay. Do I know where I would need to go for resources to help it along?
You don't really know the intention
Okay.
of this particular ghost. It could be that of wrath. It could be staying in the world because a loved one is still in the world. There's so many different reasons that a soul would decide to stay on the mortal plane.
Gotcha.
Oh, it's
so
all on here. You need to
I'm
kill
gonna
some
go full frou-frou here. And go back into the house. Sit in the middle of the floor. Very, like, unassumingly. Light some of the incense that I have with me. Get out a prayer book and see if I can get any sort of interaction from Ghosty.
Okay. What is everybody else doing in the meantime? Because it seems like Faley has just gotten like a strike of inspiration, turned heel, and walked back inside.
Pretty much.
I'm just gonna kind of stand there and mourn my froggy friend.
I haven't upset you. Oh, okay. Well,
Don't mind her. She doesn't mean any disrespect. When she gets a feeling, she needs to go deal with that feeling.
I certainly understand as a writer. I can see why she goes. Now, there is the matter of ownership. You have the deed, but the city is not aware of it. We do need to find the magistrate to actually sign it over to you.
Understandable. I know that all of us still need to kind of come to an agreement or whatnot of what we are going to do, because I myself do not want to make a decision on behalf of the others.
Certainly.
I'm sure that's how they feel as well.
If you don't mind
Oh,
my
I
saying,
had it.
if you do not mind my saying, have you spent much time in the city of Waterdeep?
I grew up here for a little while, till I left, and now I've recently come back.
Never
my
been much of a
cousin.
landowner, have you?
Nope.
What I can say is that this is what they would consider a piece of prime property in the City of Splendors. Now, the building itself is considered a historical site, so I'm not entirely sure how they would feel about you demolishing the building. However, you can do with it as you please.
Well, if it's
I can make it pretty.
like a beacon of, what did you say? Something of history?
It's a historical
So,
site.
well, a historical
Accidental
site. Would
fires
they
burn
give us
down so
funding
much.
to try and fix
That's,
it up,
I
and
was
so
just
it's
gonna
not
ask the
like
same
a,
thing.
it couldn't fall over if you breathe on it?
But the guildmasters would definitely take pity on your plea. They certainly won't pay for it.
Well, no.
However, mention it,
Just
and
some help.
perhaps they can look the other way on some of their taxes and fees.
I'm real charming.
Are the taxes?
I'm also trying to talk to a ghost right now, so I'm not a part of this conversation. But
That's what I mean. Like, if it's a,
oop, ow.
Are we even
like a
doing-
historical landmark, it could fall over.
It demolish itself.
That is true.
I guess we just have some thinking that we have to do with, how much the taxes and fees are going to cost to even own this property, how much it's going to cost to fix this up. I mean, yeah, we like to help out, but we're not made of money.
Certainly, I can
Ghost,
understand
the
that.
toad,
What I can tell
everybody
you,
else is living in the
I do have a
bathtub.
contract with Stone. Hold on one second. There is a man from the Fellowship of Innkeepers, a specific guild for your plea that may be able to help you. A man by the name of Broxley Fairkettle. I can send him your way if you like. This is turning from an Italian into a Russian accent rather quickly.
Yeah.
You started with Transylvanian, then went to Italian, and now you're going Russian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure, send them our way.
Certainly. As far as the transfer of ownership, it would be 25 gold on your part and 25 on my part. Now, I'm ready to pay my sum, of course, but unfortunately I do not have that much more to offer you.
Do we have enough money?
I do.
I know I do.
I mean,
I know I do.
I have 18.
Gold?
Yes.
Why are you also rich?
I have 54.
You
I have
also have
52.
ridiculously expensive paintings that you decided to keep.
That's true.
I'm not saying you have
How
to
much
sell
did you
them,
have?
Well,
but
because we went
don't
to
think
the
of yourselves as poor.
I went to
You
the
could
art house.
survive.
You can't sell to a museum. The little buying.
How much
guide
gold did you have?
there.
52.
Okay.
Should we perhaps meet up at sundown? We can further discuss our strategies.
Sounds like a plan.
Certainly. I will see if I can find Broxley in the meantime.
Thank you.
How's my ghost hunting going?
So you are kind of like performing a almost impromptu seance, right?
Yeah.
Do you have any spells that can assist you, or are you just trying to do this ceremony because you've seen other people do it?
Let me see.
Do I know what she's doing inside, or I just see her just walk inside?
If you go back inside, you can see her kind of like halfway through this small impromptu ritual that she's started to perform. But she totally just bounced out of the conversation and went back inside.
Yeah,
I have no
meet
spells.
up with
I'm just
her
relying
we
on
can
my-
discuss.
I'm a little
Really
nervous to
just
go
upbringing
inside.
And training
I don't
to
want to
shine.
get attacked by
Okay.
a ghost.
So
Well, if she gets
I'm gonna
attacked
have you
by a
make
ghost, we
both
might
a
need to
religion
help
and
her
a
out.
persuasion check.
I'm gonna message you.
Okay.
Religion and
Okay.
persuasion.
Only
Okay.
because she's my cousin.
Religion is 11.
Okay.
Persuasion
Here we go.
is
Unknown.
13.
I'm like slowly.
And what exactly is it that you're doing? You're lighting incense, you're burning a candle, and you're just kind of sitting in the middle of this tavern?
And I have my prayer book and my vestments and stuff with me.
Okay.
And
Are you speaking at all?
I think I would be probably just meditating on it, essentially, like seeing if anything happens, seeing if I can like will it to come to me, because I don't want to go chase it down and then make it angry.
Okay. So you kind of like you light your incense in a small circle of candles around it. You clear a small space in your area, just as you've seen many of the holy people in your shrine do, and you kind of kneel down in front of the candle, hands on your knees, and just kind of like close your eyes and lean forward, and all of a sudden you feel this like almost gust of air as a presence. The hair on the back of your neck starts to kind of stick up.
I'm trying.
I just
And,
sent you a message.
Thank you.
Mhm.
And as you do this, you do definitely start to feel a presence around you, although you can't exactly get a good grasp on the intent.
Okay. If there are any lost souls near me, feel free to reach out. I want to help. And then I wait and see if anything else happens.
Make one more persuasion check for me.
Get my rolling hands out. That is a 26.
Nice.
You
All the
slowly
things.
start to open up your eyes, and you see the room as before, but you do notice that like one of the chairs off in the corner is kind of like starting to like rapidly vibrate and like start to shudder on the floor.
And like, can I discern whether or not it's a just making a presence known, or if it's a I'm making it
Aggressive.
angry?
It's hard to tell.
Okay. Do you?
All of a sudden, another one kind of starts
Ooh,
in the other
spooky.
side of the room.
Do you not like us being here? Would you prefer we leave this establishment empty and alone? Do you like it being empty here?
The rattling stops.
Okay. Can you establish what yes is for me? The rattling. Okay. So, they don't want us to leave it alone completely. It doesn't want to be alone. And it is here.
Are we in the room now?
Yeah, you guys
yeah.
are in the room.
Do you want our help?
No response. Everybody else
Would
is
you-
just kind of like watching this ceremony happen. What is your wisdom? Like your actual wisdom score, not your modifier?
19. She's a smart
19.
cookie.
Out of the corner of your eye, you do notice Jamor just kind of like messing with his hands and like signing an incantation with your passive
Wow.
perception.
Rude.
Jerk.
Wow.
Cool.
And you notice like a little spark of ember coming up in the middle of the room, and you like slap his hand, and the spell dissipates.
Oh, I was gonna do something else.
I think you can.
Okay. Imagine Phaley is not a complete moron. She'd notice the kerfuffle happening.
Sort of, but she kind of like closes her eyes and tries to focus a little bit. Like it's like people giggling in church almost. Like you hear it, but you try and block it out.
Gotcha. Well, now I don't know. The kerfuffle behind me is influencing or the cause of.
How far away is
The
he from
rattling.
her?
Probably like a solid 20 feet or so if you guys are kind of like near the entrance and off to the side.
Oh yeah, a little bit further.
But you can take a step closer if you want.
No, I want him to be a little bit further from her.
Oh.
Just a
Are
little.
you gonna thunder wave him?
Nope. Just a little.
Like this.
How far away is the... Look at your map. Faylee's on the inside of the tap room. Like,
So she's
right
in
underneath
here.
where the tap room word is.
Okay.
5, 10, 15... Yeah, you're 20 feet away if you're near the entrance.
Gosh. Can I step a couple feet back to make it so it's like 25 feet?
Yes, you can step back outside. Or you can, like, go around the corner.
I just want to be away from her. A little more than 20 feet.
Sure, yeah, you back off a little bit. Noticing that
Perfect.
there's this kind of...
I'm gonna cast
surrounding.
Entangle.
Oh, good lord.
Sorry, Sterling.
Am I in the way?
You're next to me, so you might get hit too, but it's just gonna hold you.
Can you
So
make
it's...
that known to me and warn me?
If you want to, you can, like, contain
I-
the spell
can I
onto
back it
him
off?
specifically
Okay.
Can I
cool.
back off?
for this purpose.
Thank you.
You
'Cause
can
it's-
tell me to stand back.
Weeds and vines sprout from the ground in a 20-foot radius centered on a point within range, creating difficult terrain. Creature in the area, when you cast the spell, must make a strength saving throw or be restrained by the plants until the spell ends. A restrained creature can spend its action to make a strength check to break free.
Make your strength check. Strength saving throw.
I must have
You have
really
strength of
missed what
10.
it was that he was doing.
19!
But that's clearly gonna let her know something's going on.
Bailey whips her head around.
Yeah, definitely a nasty death stare to both of you from Faylee. And
He's messing with you.
as that happens,
I'm gonna blow out my incense, blow out my candles, pack it all away very calmly, very
Yep,
neatly,
yep.
very nicely. Then I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna pick up the gnome by the back of the neck,
Put him on like a nail.
and I'm gonna hang him on a coat rack somewhere. I'm sure there's a coat rack in this bar somewhere.
yep, there's a small coat rack off near the side, and the little jester's uniform that he's got on, you just hoist him up on it and just set him right back down on it, and it fits the pointy end of the jester's cap quite nicely, and he's kind of like dangling there.
So are we in agreement that we're gonna leave him off of the deed?
That might not be a bad idea. Let me see.
I'm just kind of sitting up there pouting right now.
You deserved that.
As that's happening, one last thing, Faylee, make a quick perception check.
12.
Okay. You do start to hear the sound of from behind you, but when you whip your head back around, it's completely stopped. But you were keeping a very close eye on Jamor and noticed that it was not him moving.
For once.
That's the first like prank I've done on you guys. I'm sorry. I couldn't pass it up.
I'm just gonna offhandedly, to no one in particular, if the gnome displeases you, that's fine by me.
Dang.
Okay. You ruined it. I tried to keep you from getting locked in the cellar again, but evidently you like to be in cold, damp spaces with a single good bottle of wine.
And no food.
And no food.
And you tortured frogs.
I was trying to be my friend.
He just kind of scooped it.
Forceful friendship.
I'm sorry, I'll behave. Can I get down now?
Nah. I'll leave you up there until you can...
As this happens, you guys kind of like start to spin around a little bit and kind of like get another glance at the tavern. And Jamor's just kind of like hanging up on the coat hanger and just kind of like, aw, deflated and kind of there. And all of a sudden you hear... and the coat hanger falls to the ground, letting Jamor go, but completely toppled over.
I'm gonna assume it was the ghost.
Don't worry, I'm alright.
I wasn't worried.
Alright, so
And can we, like, streamline this where I catch you up with what you missed outside?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
we
everybody's on the
do
same
that.
page.
So what are we gonna do?
Doesn't seem like it would be a terrible place to own if we could get assistance of some variety in renovating it.
Because it's 25 gold just for us to get our name on the deed.
That's not bad. I'm willing to pay that part.
Yeah, that's fine. But what about taxes and how much they're going to charge us in fees?
Well, like he
We're
was
gonna have to
saying,
get jobs.
I have a job.
That's okay.
Do you make any money at
I
it?
mean, I can always play
Like a little bit.
play around and see if I can scramble up some money there, but even then, it probably won't be that much.
Do we all know she has the paintings?
Yeah.
You were there
They're
when
giant
they
paintings.
were
Oh,
raised.
okay.
Gonna-
You've basically been hoisting them under your
Yeah,
arms
like-
this entire time. They're stretched canvas, so
Okay.
they're not easily transportable. But they do have a nice little leather like satchel that they're covered in, so they're in good condition.
You could always sell one of the paintings and maybe get a little bit of money off it.
I don't see why
And how
not.
long is that gonna last, though?
That's my concern.
It could be enough to help get us going at least. Maybe the guilds will help us out a little bit.
Well, we still need a steady income.
Yeah.
Because there's only so far that generosity of others is gonna take us.
Unless we start promising
Until
cuts
we
of
at least...
profit when we finally get
We
this.
could always do that, try and find some investors in the property.
But who would
That's
invest
taken-
in...
I mean,
That's
it just-
taking a really-
There's that one guy we ran into. We can ask his help. I mean, he has a.
We only have until dawn.
I will also remind you guys that you have met 3 different levels of varying importance in Waterdeep. Volo, Rainier, Neverember, who you saved and is the son of a noble. And there is also
Oh, yeah.
Flynn, who he knows nobility, like he's hung out with nobility.
Hung out with them?
He's spent some good nights with nobility.
Yeah.
We did
could
find
ask
Flynn, didn't
Rainier.
we? Yeah.
Yes,
He's
you did.
back.
You rescued him.
Okay, I remember.
So-
And
yes.
we did rescue
But
Rainier.
You have
and
allies.
Phil
You
was
have
there.
Bonnie in the Yawning Portal Inn. You have 3 strings in the Yawning Portal Inn. Like, you guys know
I
people.
work at the Yawning Portal Inn.
You do? You have a good inn with Durnan, the proprietor there?
I think we should go talk to Rainier.
Okay. Let's go.
Where does he live?
You know that he lives somewhere in the castle ward, just being a member of nobility. He's pretty much obviously assumed to stay there. If you guys would like, you can go down there and try and make an investigation check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Investigation. $21.
16.
Well,
We
yeah,
step
that's
into
why
the
I have
castle
that
ward, I
in
sniff the air and find it.
Smells like rain.
Get it rain here.
So you're just following along, right?
Yep. I think we should go this way. Nope.
there. Nice suggestion.
Your princess
Plan
is another
Z.
castle.
Pretty much. So, yeah, through asking the right people, definitely not like the guard because they wouldn't tell people, but you know, there's like town criers, there's people who gossip and stuff like that throughout the city. You are a good gossiper, and because that's basically how you've gotten your insight is just through checking with people, investigating certain things, and eventually you do find yourself into a small part of the castle ward with, you know, a relatively nice small house that's kind of like stands out from some of the other ones. Is relatively fine, very well kept, kind of like a white trim along everything, a couple of red shutters on it as well. However, you do have a very good idea that this is the place. There are 2 guards standing in front of the door. but based on their uniform, they are not members of the City Watch. I'm sorry, City. Yes, City Watch.
You're the charismatic one.
I could
cuz-
distract them and get them to chase me away.
Stop.
No.
You've done enough today.
I apologize. I'm sorry. I thought it was funny.
It won't be funny when you're being strangled by a ghost in your sleep in our new tavern.
To be fair, the last time I played a bit of a prank like that, I was done well. So there's that.
Makes sense. Do a lot of bad things happen to you when you play pranks?
I'm not at home anymore now, am I?
Oh, I do. Can I
Seems like
cast
it
I don't know
might
how I
take
managed
time
to get my
stop.
hands on,
Wait,
on
hold
this,
on.
but I do have that. If you want to insult him and all. I don't know how I can.
Oh, no, that doesn't do what I thought it did. Never mind.
The only insult you can use is your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries.
Bailey,
where I got
being
that?
ever the show
Where I
woman
got that from.
as she is,
Here you go. Ready to
Okay.
go.
stand a respectable
Perfect.
distance
Okay.
from the
This
guards.
is wonderful.
Take a bow.
Do this one first.
Thinking words here.
Wait, how does this work?
So 2, 5.
I've come to call
Oh,
on
okay.
Master Rainier. Is he at home?
As you kind of like approach, one of them holds their hands out
I
at you.
didn't bring my
You
microphone.
take your bow
Oh, I'm
and
sorry. No,
you
you're
ask
okay.
about Rainier, and one of them says, "Master Rainier is not at home right now."
Angled.
In
Poor
that
pig.
case, do you know if he'll be home at any time soon?
Master Rainier is not taking visitors
I
at any
love it.
time.
Could you perhaps get a message to him that Faylee Winsinger, Sterling Silver,
Didn't they
Shava,
have a name?
It was the. Hold on.
the Valkyries?
The
Yeah,
Valkyries.
no one but Vola knows this is the Valkyries, so.
Oh, yeah.
And Jamor
Milner.
Milner
Am I the only
are
one
looking
without
to
a
speak
last
to
name?
him. He may not. He doesn't need to rush on it by any means, but it would be greatly appreciated if you would send this message along and let him know that we're looking for him and would like to speak to him about a potential venture. that
And we
would
also
like
want
him
to know
take
how
part in.
he's doing.
Yes.
Are you friends of Master Rainier's?
I would say so.
We helped return him to his home after being kidnapped.
Check the list. And he turns towards the other guard and kind of like pulls out a small little parchment paper. They're clear.
Hey.
See one of them kind of like, and the door kind of slowly
He's here the whole time. He's just
Descends
Well, I mean, he got
into the
kidnapped,
ground.
so I'm sure they don't want
wanna
anyone.
do
Goes into the
down.
ground.
Yep.
I love it.
Dang, that's fancy.
You may proceed.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And you walk into this very seemingly strangely well lit room. There's no windows inside of this. However, everything is like lined with this strange golden tube of light
So a
that's just
giant
emanating
bunker.
this entire thing out. Not a bunker. It's a very well beautiful room. It just doesn't have any windows inside of it. There's lots of rugs, lots of tapestries, even though there's no windows. Just various signs and sigils plastered up on the wall. You do see a very large, what's the word I'm thinking for? Painting on a wall.
Mural?
A large mural of a map of the city of Waterdeep. It's incredible to see. You've never seen the city from that particular angle. The best you've seen are like small bits and pieces on parchment. But
What about my paintings? Is it similar to my paintings?
no, it's like an actual map
Oh,
of
okay.
Waterdeep.
I was gonna say.
Your
That would be really
paintings,
cool.
your paintings are almost like a drone shot taken down at these beautiful cities.
Okay.
And as you guys are kind of like gazing at all of the artwork and tapestries on the wall, you see Rainier step out with like a nice, very fine, almost velvety robe on, kind of like a golden inlets inside of it. And he kind of approaches you and says, well, this is rather embarrassing. I can't even welcome you at my normal home. You have to see me at a place like this.
No need to be
This
embarrassed.
isn't your normal home? this isn't as nice? Because this is beautiful. This is stunning. This is the most amazing interior I've ever seen.
Thank you very much. When your father is, at one point, the open lord of Waterdeep, you do need to find yourself in many places to retreat to, and this is one such one of them. I'd like to keep a low profile for now. In fact, I'm rather curious how you were able to find me.
I have my ways.
I suppose we'll leave it at that then. A woman's allowed her secrets. What can I do for you?
In short, we're looking to see if perhaps we may count on you as a bit of a sponsor.
A sponsor of sorts. Interesting. Tell me your venture.
My party and I have come into the potential ownership. We haven't signed off any of the paperwork or anything. As that's why we're doing the footwork now to see if this would be a venture worth taking. But we have come into possession of the deed to Trollskull Manor. And we were thinking...
Volo, I
yes.
presume.
We were thinking that if possible, we wouldn't be able to fund renovations entirely on our own without starving to death in the process.
I see.
That perhaps, in exchange for perhaps cuts of the proceeds, once we get everything up and running, if we could maybe get you to pull a couple of strings and help us to fund the renovations.
Make a persuasion check for me.
I roll a 2 for the first time.
I said, I don't think I could have done that.
That's an 18.
Okay. A rather interesting proposition, and one that I certainly hope will bear fruit for you. However, I'm not one for investing. I do certainly owe you a favor, though.
Any leads you may provide would be plenty of a favor.
And he kind of like scratches the scruffle of his beard a little bit and kind of like turns in circles for a second. Can I get you some tea or ale or whiskey or wine? Are you thirsty? Please make yourselves at home.
I'm alright, thank you very much.
I wouldn't mind partaking in a small glass of honey mead if you have any.
I can certainly
Filled
fetch some.
with sweet drinks.
And you hear him like loudly snap his fingers in the air, and you hear like all sorts of like mechanical gears turning around.
So cool.
And he like walks over into the side where one of the paintings is and like lifts up the painting and grabs a small glass for you and one for him.
There's not that much of a hassle. I'd like some tea.
Other hand. Goes up to another painting. Is chamomile alright?
Yes, that's fine.
Here you are.
Thank you for going to the trouble.
Just because I want to see you do it again, can I get a glass of whiskey?
Ah, I can certainly accompany that. And you hear a shh. Goes behind one of the tapestries and moves it out of the way. Grabs it. Small, like
Gnomish
little
size?
No, like a glass with like 2 fingers worth of whiskey
okay.
inside of it, and hands it over to you. I would perhaps take that slow. It's a bit strong.
Well, thank you very much.
Certainly. Here, I feel rude drinking and leaving someone out.
Well,
And he
thank
hands
you.
you the honey mead that he poured for himself. It does occur to me that I do have a few tickets to an opera playing tomorrow night in the Sea Ward.
Seaward.
There's a fellow there that you can meet. Private Box C. If you were to go there in the intermission, there's a fellow there by the name of Mert. Some call him Mert the Moneylender, some call him the Old Wolf, others just call him Friend. If there's anyone in the city that would be able to fund your expedition at a fair rate, I'm certain that it would be Mert. However, he may ask certain favors of you. He's member of a he's a member of a certain guild known as the Harpers. He may call on you for assistance, and it would be your duty at that point.
Do I know
to
the
answer
Harpers?
call. Make a history check.
I was gonna
Since
say,
you lived in the city.
don't I?
I probably don't.
Are you familiar
It's a solid
with these,
5.
Are you familiar at all with these favors which he asks upon
I have an 18.
others that you would like to share?
Well, you see, I too am a member of the Harpers myself. However, the tasks that I'm typically assigned to, I'm certain would be rather different from the ones that you would be.
I got an 18.
Okay, so the Harpers is... You know that there's, like, a certain set of groups and factions, like, all throughout Faerun. The Harpers is one of the oldest and longest-lasting ones. It's almost like saying... Not the same connotation, but it's like saying someone's a member of the Elks Club. Or something like that. Like, it's a known, it's respected,
Gotcha.
you know... It's something that you kind of have to earn your way into, but it's something that the common folk know about.
Gotcha.
And it's usually for goodish people. Like, you don't really hear of the Harpers, like, carrying out terrorist attacks or anything like that. It's usually stuff like, oh, the Harpers stop local guilds from shaking down poor people or something like that.
Okay. That could be something we could get down with.
The only problem is we have no time to meet this guy before we have to agree to sign the deed over to us. Yeah. So we'd have to make a decision before.
In your opinion, as someone with long-standing knowledge and power of a sort within the city, would us taking over the Troll Skull Manor be a waste of time?
Certainly not. Property is one of the best investments that you could possibly make. That's how my father got his fortune and his title.
Okay.
Say, yeah, we should do it. And I'm going to just throw it back.
Cheers.
To Troll Skull Manor and new ventures.
To Troll Skull Manor.
I already drank my drink.
Yep.
And you know,
You're also tiny.
Yes.
He does grab a small flask from inside of his robe, takes a small swig.
Was that a bad idea for me to do that? Because it was 2
You
fingers
just
for
did
a
a
normal person, and
Yeah,
I
you
just
just did a-
pounded that as a gnome.
Thirsty one,
We'll
aren't you?
just have to carry him back.
I guess I'll drag him by his little outfit.
Sorry.
Grab him by the... Just drag him.
So,
Like little kids wearing
Give me a leash.
dungarees. What are they called?
The leash.
Overalls.
Oh.
oh
Where
yeah.
Your parents just grab you by the back and carry you like
Give
a
him a
suitcase.
backpack with a leash on it. So, tomorrow night, Light Singer Theater. Mert is the man you're looking for. Although I would come to him with a price. He's certainly not going to fund a venture without knowing exactly what it is he's investing in.
So that means we need to do a bunch of research today.
Let's go find our gold
Well,
dragon friend.
the bent nail,
We could
that's
talk
a...
to, oh, what is his name?
Is that a bar?
Rizal. We just-
Rizal?
Yeah,
You don't
we
know. Okay.
just ran into him.
Okay. We can do that.
He seemed like he knew the
Away
property.
we go.
All right.
Huzzah.
Take a cake now. I want cake now.
Yeah, we'll take a cake break in like 2 minutes. So as you guys kind of finish up your drinks, have your cheers and toasts and everything. He does hand something over to you guys. What looks to be a small palm-sized artifact to most of the party. A palm-sized artifact. And it looks like it's got like a small face looking to the side and an ear on the side of it. It says, I'll probably be leaving this location soon. If you were able to track me down, it's probably not in my best interest to stay here. Should you ever need me again, I feel like it's only right for me to be in contact with you to help you in any way possible. Take this. And he hands you this small little stone-like device.
What is this
Sending
soundtrack?
stones.
I don't know.
Sending
Can you
stones
please
come in pairs
change
with
it?
each
Sure.
smooth
Or at least
stone
change it
carved to match
To
the other.
Journey of the like because that's what it sounds like.
You can use an
This is Skyrim.
action to cast the
That
sending
sounds
spell.
familiar.
I keep thinking that it sounds like the
Stones.
Journey soundtrack and it's messing with me.
I'll switch. I'll turn it off for now.
Appreciate it.
So
what is it?
It's kind of like a magical walkie-talkie, but you can't actually like talk through it.
you
From what I'm
can.
reading
like
here-
this-
okay.
The only
It's
thing
like
that it limits you to is the sending spell, which can only be 25 words at a time.
Isn't there in a movie that they have like the
Yeah,
heads?
yeah, it's Halloween Town too.
That's right.
That's on Disney Plus.
That's on Disney Plus, yeah.
If anything, I think that would be the best one to do.
Should you require my assistance again in the future, please feel free to contact me. I do owe you my life, and I certainly hope that this is one step in me repaying that debt.
Thank you very much for all your help and your hospitality.
God's bless you all.
Thank you.
And you
And
guys,
he just
and the door
shoved
again,
out.
and you make your way out back into this like bright, blinding sunlight, and the doors raise up behind you, and the guards immediately like stand back up at attention, and like gesture you forward out onto the streets. Okay, so we kind of fade in on the busy city streets of the castle ward, and people are kind of coming and going on their daily business. The sun is getting kind of close-ish to setting, but not quite there. It's like just peaking, and people are kind of getting ready. They're stopping by bakers, grabbing some food on the way home. They're doing any last bits of business, closing up. You see all sorts of shop signs flipping over, open to close. That's the general kind of hustle and bustle vibe that you're getting right now.
To Volo. Okay.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
What is
Yep.
this?
I was gonna say I wasn't fully paying attention.
What is it a play? It's
You have tickets to a performance.
An opera.
For tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow
okay.
evening.
Yeah, right now we
Where
gotta
would
go
we
meet
like
Volo.
to sleep? Because we are not going to our home right now.
Well, it's not our home yet.
That's where Volo probably is, too.
Yeah, we gotta talk to Volo and then go from there. Probably stay in the tavern again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not staying the night in there.
Okay.
Not right now.
So you guys make your way back up to the North Ward. Streets are very busy, but they are kind of broken up into a, kind of like halls back in high school where, like, you're expected to stay on one side or the other, get out of the way of, like, any large moving vehicles, and, nobles will be kind of coming and going and stuff like that. You eventually do find your way back to your home. Or at least your new piece of property, soon to be signed over, and you do see Volo sitting there on the doorstep. You see him kind of like shifting his weight back and forth, and like hearing a loud like screech of the wood. You hear him like jump from the noise behind him. Welcome back.
A little jumpy?
Certainly not. No, it's just. Anytime a big moment in your life happens, you get a little anxious.
Good save.
Big moment? What do you mean a big moment?
I'm not a property dealer. It's just a bit of a strange thing for me to be signing over something that's could be so prosperous. I hate to see it go, but the stagnant lifestyle is not for me.
I mean, it is definitely stagnant right now.
So there is a magistrate just on the road here. They'd be more than happy to sign the documents over if you're ready.
I believe we are. Are we ready?
How did we decide the payment? We're all just gonna chip in, or
Yeah.
What?
I don't know. I keep getting like that. So just like,
Wonderful.
I just can't remember like what we agreed on.
we
He's
didn't.
paying 25 gold, and then we have to pay 25 gold.
We just.
Between the four of us.
I have 18. I don't have enough.
I'm broke AF. I don't even have a single gold piece.
We could just split it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Alright.
So you guys follow Volo.
For
just
your
kind of
prank,
like-
you get to pay the extra one piece of gold.
Okay.
You guys follow Volo kind of like gallivanting down the road, almost swinging his arms side to side, joyfully. Nervous as he seemed, he still has this boisterous walk to him. Eventually, you find yourselves down at the end of the street, not in this particular block that you have a map of, but a little further down. You do see a large spire, completely black as night.
I thought I saw a piece of cake in your beard.
Kind of save it for
So
later.
we're going.
It's not on this
It's not
map, just a
here.
little bit further off to the east, west, rather, sorry.
So past the bookshop?
Yeah, past the bookshop. You do see this large black spire, just absolutely dark as night, sticking out of the side of a large building. And from the spire, there are two large guards, and they both see Volo approaching and knock on the door. A person emerges from this spire, and they have the same attire as the people that had welcomed you guys in at the custom search when you first entered into the city. Completely dark robe. Seems to be some sort of like magical insets on their actual hood as they pull it back, and you see what's the word I'm thinking of? Horned tiefling. Tiefling with kind of like purplish reddish skin emerging from the hood. Volo, you've kept me waiting. It's sorry. It's just these things happen, you know. Very well. The documentation, and you guys kind of like scramble to grab the deed and like hand it out. Wonderful. May I take? Thank you. And he like holds it up to the light, takes a look at the seal, holds his hand over it, and you see the paper starting to like kind of glow and fizzle. And from the other side of the paper, you can like actually see through it and see like almost like a tattoo lighting up on the inside of his palm, detecting the seal for its authenticity. Pulls it back. Right then, it's clear. Now, who exactly are we going to be signing this over to?
Wouldn't it be all of us?
Is it all
Yeah.
four of us, or does it have to be? It has to be one person.
Can it be partially owned by 4 people, or does it have to have a single owner written on the title?
Do you intend to do business at this place?
In the future, when it gets
Hopefully.
redone.
You can sign it as part of a partnership and split it between the 4 of you, I assume.
Okay. Do that.
Now that would leave all 4 of you responsible for any future taxes or liabilities on your property.
That's fine.
Yes, let's just get on with it. And the this tiefling looks.
Almost too eager to get rid of this property.
That's what makes me nervous.
The tiefling kind of like looks over and kind of sighs at him. And says, "Very well then. First, Volo Kadar." And he plucks the feather out of his hat, dips it into one of his little ink bottles on his shoulder, and with a grand flourish, couple of little ink blots like flying off into the air, and one of them like lands onto the jacket of this of this magistrate. He kind of looks down at it. It's gone. And the rest?
What?
Full names, please.
If it was an arm's reach, I'd grab mine, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, the quill?
Yeah, it's over there.
Kirsten got a quill at the Wizarding Weekend.
Nice.
So, everybody signs their name?
Yep.
Okay. And on the back of this new piece of paper, a little seal is now magically emblazoned onto it, and he hands the scroll over to the 4 of you.
Neato.
Now there is the matter of an estate transfer fee, 25 gold apiece, or 25 gold from each party.
Here's my 13.
Why don't we just say here's the 25?
Fine. I'll give you the money.
Wait, did I do math wrong?
Yeah, no. 12.
25
Well, it was
is 12
24.
and 13.
He wanted to give.
No,
you
I
13,
mean when I
wanted to give 13.
subtracted mine.
I had to do mine twice because I had mine wrong. I counted subtracted 25 from my 54.
I did the same thing.
So we hand him
gave
our
him one.
we hand him our 25.
Okay, I'll let you guys figure that out. Volo reaches into a little coin purse, pulls out a small, like, completely unorganized cache of, like, silver, copper. He's just kind of, like, counting them off the side, piece by piece. A lot more copper in there than you would think. Here you go. And he just hands over this, like, giant piles of what would basically be, like, quarters.
Me.
Very well, then.
At the toll booth on Wednesday.
Very well, then. Congratulations on your purchase. I hope that it bears fruit for you in the future. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And he kind of, like, hood back on and retreats back into the spire. Guards both stand back up at attention as it walks in.
Ew.
And both says, congratulations, my friends! You are now property owners in the beautiful city of splendors. Come, the first drink's on me. And he...
Are you sure you can afford?
You see, you know the right people, you get the tab.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Cool.
And you guys march merrily down to the Yawning Portal Inn for a nice night's rest, good entertainment. Sorry, did you want to do something else?
Yeah, Volo, speaking of knowing the right people, any chance you know some vendors, contractors, etc. so forth that could give us some quotes on fixing this place up?
Yes, Mr. Broxley. He said he would be around tomorrow to inspect the venue.
Mr. Blacksley?
Broxley.
Broxley. Oh!
Broxley Fairkettle.
Oh, yeah!
He said he would already send him on his way, so he's basically telling you he tracked this guy down and said have you take a look at it tomorrow.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
He's the guild guy.
Yes, and now I will say that he is a member of the guild representatives, so he will give you the guild's price. Now, if you ask me, you can find better wares for cheaper by going outside of the reach of the guild, but let's just say there are consequences to those actions.
Define consequences.
Well,
Legal?
Certainly not, but let's just say you don't want to find yourselves on the bad side of the many guilds.
Fair.
Come, it is a time for jubilation.
Something
It's
just
the heater.
took off.
Yeah,
Spaceship.
The heater is turning
That's the drink coming down and being dispensed right now.
Perfect.
So you guys go for a night of merriment. Do you guys want to do anything else as the evening wraps up?
No.
Is the owner at the inn or the?
Jernan's almost always in.
Okay, can I talk to him?
Sure.
Cool. I just wanted to talk to him about possibly opening an inn that in the future up in.
Hey, little fella.
I was wondering about opening up a tavern where we've just recently got the Troll Skull
Sounds like you've been
Manor.
in a tavern for way too long.
Whiskey.
You're there for that. What?
Yeah, that is a good point. You are still maybe a little tipsy.
Yeah. And I wanted your input on it.
You're opening up a tavern?
It's possible. It's not entirely set in stone yet. We just got the Troll Skull Manor and we were possibly trying to fix it up and maybe do a tavern up there.
Troll Skull Manor. I remember the place. Took a lot of business from me a few hundred years ago.
I assure you we wouldn't take much from me, though. It's all his friends. Yeah, apparently I think I'm a little drunk at this point.
Am I near this conversation? I really want to just jump in on the conversation. Am I anywhere near it?
You can be at the bar as well if you'd like.
Wouldn't it be better to be partners? Leo.
In my business, you stick your neck out for no one. I hope you understand. I've had my establishment for at least 1,000 years. You start to lose count after the first 100.
That's fair.
To be fair, you'll probably live longer than all of us anyway. Once we die, if you're a partner, you might have it.
Then I can certainly purchase it for myself.
Hey.
That's just a bit of a low blow.
You're a little guy. He's got aim left.
Damn, that's good.
That's good. I shot my shot.
Well, at the very least, I wouldn't consider you competition.
You've done me no wrong. Always been good to me, so I would do the same back to you.
Certainly. Does that mean you'll be taking your services elsewhere?
I mean, if you want me to, I wouldn't mind staying and playing here too. I can do both if you want me to stay.
You're purchasing a tavern as a jester and deciding that you'd like to work at the competition.
I'll play it both. It's fine.
Well, I certainly won't doubt that you've got a heart of gold, but I'm curious what other strange assets you may have in your head.
There's a few weird things up in there.
Right. Perhaps a bit too much whiskey.
Oh my gosh.
Well, you're not exactly under my employ. You are a freelancer. You're free to come and go. You're not under contract. If you'd like to stay and try and earn some coin, you certainly can. However, I've got the entertainment side of things more than
Hey,
covered.
Jamar, why don't you tell him about your friend Toad?
So I met a toad up at the tavern at the Troll Skull Inn.
Right. Am I gonna have to get the rogues in here?
No, I'll behave.
Certainly. Enjoy your night. And he kind of like moves
darn
off
it,
to
I
the
was
side
hoping
of the
that was
bar.
gonna be more entertaining.
And Shavi, you notice your friend Bonnie kind of like shaking her head. Like this has happened more than once.
Not surprised.
So yeah, that's about it. You guys can spend the night drinking, playing some games, tavern stuff.
I want to gamble.
Go do a little gambling.
Yeah.
Roll a d20.
Easiest gambling ever! Come on.
How much you putting up?
I probably should have decided that before I rolled.
Probably should have, especially since it's 2.
I'll do...
Double or nothing. Put it all in. I'm just kidding.
I'll
Don't do
put
that.
half my coin in. I've got 11 silver pieces, so I'll do 6.
Okay.
And I'll roll again. That's a 12.
Dealer wins.
Okay. I'm poorer.
I'm gonna put 2 gold up and roll.
Sure.
Okay. No, I don't want. Yeah, I'll roll this one. 11.
14. Dealer wins.
Oh.
I'll give it one more shot. I'll do just 1 silver piece. See if I can win just a little something. 5.
7. Dealer wins.
All right. I'm gonna put 10 gold.
House always wins.
Bailey is not a gambling woman. She should have learned that from her days at the shoreline.
Okay, so that was just straight gambling. I mean, there are bar games if you want to play. Like, there's cards, there's darts, there's people that are doing, like, drinking
Can I play
competitions.
darts?
Sure.
I have a proficiency in darts.
You're so small.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a dexterity modifier and your proficiency check.
Okay.
How much you putting up? Or are you just playing?
5 gold.
5 gold?
Yeah.
All right, 3 shots. Whoever gets best 2 out of 3.
Okay.
Okay. That was a 9.
Oh.
Okay, so I guess dealer, whoever you're gambling up against,
So I
that
had
is the
10.
first one.
So yeah, you won that one.
Let's say this guy has a +3.
Don't know where that went to.
Oh.
Hey. Oh wait, you said you had a +3, didn't you?
He does. Was that a tie?
You had an 8, I had a 9.
Total?
You had an 8.
8 plus 3, so 11.
Yeah, so then I had 10.
Dexterity plus your proficiency?
Oh wait. I had.
If you're proficient with darts, then you have
Yeah,
your
I know.
proficiency
I just
modifier.
kind of had a moment.
Okay.
I'm
are half
sorry.
drunk.
It's 12.
Okay. Yeah, you should be rolling with disadvantage, but I guess since you're proficient. All right, last one.
What is
That's
that?
That's
Kind of
cocked. Toss it again.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's nothing. 10.
No, I lost that. All right.
5 gold down.
All right.
Bailey, being the sweet little angel she is, trying to recoup some money without having to flirt with gross strangers. Is there anyone in this bar that she might be able to hustle for an arm wrestle? Because she is deceptively strong.
Make a investigation check.
And she's very charismatic.
Is 3 strings in here?
What's that?
Is 3 strings in
That
here?
is
Yes.
a
I'm gonna hang out.
16.
You guys go play for the night. Do a performance check. 16.
Yeah.
You find a kind of scrawny looking guy that is just kind of like hanging out in the corner, kind of like nursing his beer back and forth. You gonna do it?
Sure.
Okay. So you challenge him to a strength contest. He's gonna... You found the drunk guy because you rolled so well. So this is gonna be with disadvantage on his part, so he rolls 2.
I found you more. That is 13 with my strength modifier.
You find a judge to kind of start the competition. You both put your arms up on the table. 3, 2, 1. Failey. BAM! He got a natural 1.
So he just broke his arm.
Smash it into the table, and he loses his center of gravity and like falls off of the chair.
Oh, now I feel bad. How much did I win?
Oh no! I heard his arm. How much money
How
do
much
I now
money
have?
does he have? I'm gonna loot him. I mean, I guess we should have determined how much you put up, but you did just arm wrestle a drunk guy, so I would say whatever amount you probably think Fayley would have put up after her losing
She only
streak.
had 4 left, so she would have put up 4 silver pieces. She's back to 8, baby!
She gambled the rest of her money away.
Yeah.
Alright. Sounds good.
She's used to getting her way.
Alright, so a night of festivities, a night of merriment, drinking, beating people up.
I didn't mean to. I very nicely picked the poor, drunk, scrawny man back up off the floor.
I'm so sorry. By the way, for
Give me your money.
it will happen again. Anyway,
Don't make me just take the rest of it.
so you guys spend the night at the other portal. Volo covers your room for you. And the day is yours. What would you like to do?
When are we supposed to meet the Broxley dude again?
Sometime in the morning, afternoonish. Volo wasn't specific, but sometime tomorrow.
We
Which
should
would
probably
be
head
today.
to the
Back to
manor thing. Case.
our place.
Okay.
Here, I'll hold on to the rules.
Alright, so you find your way back into the tavern, and you see a rather short fellow, a halfling, taking a look up at the building, and he has a large parchment and pen that he's like taking notes on the overall structure of it. Rather short guy, kind of like long pointed beard. He's wearing kind of like a cabbie hat. Just kind of
Okay.
dopey a little bit. He turns around. You see this kind of middle-aged halfling fellow, mutton chops, very bushy eyebrows, and he looks surprised almost to see the 4 of you approaching. Oh, hello. You must be the new owners.
Indeed.
Oh, well, very nice to meet you. Boy, a rather varied bunch. You must be some sort of adventuring party, I assume.
Sorta.
Yeah.
I've been in the city for a while.
Very nice, very nice. Well, you've bought a very beautiful piece of property here, and Volo had sent me to come take a look at it and see if we can get some appraisals done for you.
You don't have to lie to me, sir. We know it needs a lot of work.
Well, I said that the property was beautiful. I didn't say the building.
Fair.
Now, would you allow me to come take a look inside?
Yes.
Of course.
Don't touch my toad.
Why did
Horrible.
you just become cocky?
I don't know.
You bloody yank.
There's a frog in the bathtub upstairs. He's my friend. Don't hurt him.
Well, we're not in the business of hurting friends in the Fellowship of Innkeepers. But I will bear him special mind in my appraisal.
She said you wanted to scare him, is all.
Right. Well, if you could
So
please...
you're aware, this
Please
frog is the
continue.
size of half of him.
Ah, well,
How tall is a halfling compared to me?
They're about the same size as
I think that they're about the same
Okay.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gnomes are just chunkier.
3 to 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, a halfling is literally just a hobbit, but they trademarked the word hobbit
Yeah.
and had to change it to halfling.
Yeah. Well, they even call them halflings in the book.
Yeah.
So.
Well, first edition D&D, they were literally called hobbits, and
I remember
the
that.
Tolkien estate just
Tolkien was
next
like,
to that.
nah.
Nah.
Yeah. So anyway, so he gets led inside, The general disposition, we don't have to roleplay him going through every single room, but the general disposition is that of almost awe of the shape that it's in. Certainly almost impressed at the condition of this entire building. But eventually he does hand you a sort of receipt, a ledger, detailing every single thing that needs to be done. If you guys want to take a note of this, you can. But roof repair, 200 gold.
Yikes.
Oh, jeez.
Brick and masonry repair, 45 gold. The water damage in the basement, 325 gold.
Are you taking notes of this?
Yes.
Broken windows,
You do that.
345 gold for the basement.
325.
325. Ooh, I accidentally gouged us, guys. Watch out.
Broken windows, 50 gold. New furniture, 50 gold.
That's not.
Work done on the kitchen hearth, 100 gold. Assuming that you want to get back into the tavernry business, brewing equipment would be 50 gold. Mugs, plates, pots, pans, etc., silverware, dining, that kind of thing.
Kitchenwares.
Yep, 30 gold. To clean and service the chimneys, it'd be 5 gold. Lighting repair for all the different candelabras and sconces along the wall, 25 gold. Plumbing repair, 80 gold. The balconies, 20 gold. And a new sign, 15. Plus, of course, the $250 worth of guild registration and fees.
Now, what
Which
about little
ends up
person? The
being
little person is we be friends on this.
250, you said?
$250 in guild fees.
Okay.
So the final total becomes 1,250 gold.
So when he hands us the receipt, what about we little people? Don't we got to stick together?
Oh, we certainly do. And I cannot wait to start assisting you in your venture.
All right. I tried my best.
It's a lot of money.
What am I trying
There's
to
a reason why he just shoveled this property on us, because he can't afford all of this work. So he's just like, here, take it.
Any
Take it
recommendations
away from
of
me.
where we can start with help?
Well, that's the beauty of the gold. Or the beauty of the guild is that you pay us and we'll make it happen. Now, I am just a member of the Fellowship of Innkeepers, but my reach does extend far and wide. Should you want the windows repaired, I can contact the Gaffers Guild. If you want the water damage fixed, I can contact the Dung Sweepers Guild. I have my connections, you see. You're not just paying for your repairs, you're paying for the guild.
Sorry, that's not quite what I meant. I meant, do you have any recommendations of where we can get started to get more gold? To get this ball rolling?
You're adventurers, aren't you?
The guy at the opera.
Okay. Well, thanks for your help.
Certainly.
My frog didn't scare you, did he?
A little frightening, yes. I'm terrified of what the rest of the tadpoles will turn into if that's just the one frog.
Tadpoles. I didn't know
Told
there
you
was
it
more in there.
tadpoles.
Oh, you just saw the one frog?
Can I see that for one moment? And he, reaches over to the ledger again.
Oh no, I'm sorry, guys.
He, adds, a $5, decontamination fee. Or 5 gold fee
We
for
have a
that.
druid, we don't need that.
Oh,
Cool. Now, is there any enchanters nearby? Okay, so actually, there's a building here with a question mark on it.
Mm-hmm.
Next, 2 houses down from us.
Yep.
Can I go see what that is?
Are we done talking with this guy?
Yeah, he was kind of worthless, so.
I mean, we needed to have a
let's
figure to take to merch.
Yeah.
So now we know what the
True.
figure is that we're going to have to...
True. I still don't like him.
Now, of course, you are free to do
Can't
this.
trust those little guys.
You...
This is just a her, you can't...
Wow!
Yep. Now, of course, you are free to do all of this of your own accord, and you may find yourselves in the hands of craftsmen of lower quality, and finding yourselves in materials of less than stellar quality. I highly recommend that you rely upon the guild, and do consider becoming members yourselves. You certainly don't want to be on the bad side of it.
I mean,
Okay,
If we
thanks
need to
for
compete
your
with
recommendations.
the yawning portal. That's something to consider.
It's a good way to avoid any further harassment.
Further.
Since when were we getting harassed?
Is that a threat?
Certainly not. It's just that this city has been on its grounds for thousands and thousands of years, built upon the backs of the many guilds. Should you try and go around their backs, well, I'll leave that up to you to find.
Well, thanks. You have a great day now.
And you as well, my dear. I'll be on my way.
It's Best Buy. Oh
Right.
And he's on his merry way.
I hate that. Absolutely hate that.
Him? Oh, yeah, me too.
Well, I hate the fact that he's all like, do business with us, or you may not have trouble.
Where else?
It will sabotage literally everything that we try to do.
Yeah, so since he left, can I go see what this building is?
Yeah, so you notice that building on your way to meet with the Magister. And the interesting thing about it is that it's a typical looking building. Like most businesses have like a storefront, they have windows to look into and everything like that. They'll have a sign. This particular building...
This isn't anywhere near that purple place, is it?
No, it's right next to us.
No, that's in the Sea
The
Ward.
purple place is down by the bay.
Yep. So the weird thing about this is that it's very unremarkable on the outside. The only distinguishing mark is a orange and black sign featuring a cat's eye on the outside of it. Not like the same eye symbol that you've been seeing around the sewers, but like an actual cat's eye with like the slit on it.
Can I go inside?
You try the handle.
Is he going to get
and it's
himself
locked.
murdered?
I'm gonna knock on the
Are we
door.
with him, or is he's just gone off by himself?
What is everybody doing? He's going to investigate this building.
What time is it?
I'm kind of cursing to
It's
myself, kicking
actually
it
pretty darn early in the morning.
Still? Okay.
You guys came right over here and, well, actually, doing the appraisal. I'd say afternoon.
Boulder, Parchment, Shears Bakery.
Sounds good.
I know, I saw
I'm gonna go to the
that.
bakery.
Okay,
I want to go too. I like sweets.
sure.
Do you have
So,
a strawberry lemonade cake?
Sterling, where are you going? Are you tagging along
I'll
with them to the bakery?
I'll tag her,
You'll
tag her-
babysit the gnome.
No, I'll tag along with
You're just letting the gnome go off and die.
you went off by yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's hard to keep track of you. You're so low to the ground.
You just
He just disappears. I don't know what happens to him. So,
You just find him in a heap every once in a while. And
you
That or near alcohol.
so you go to this door,
sometimes
and
in a heap near the alcohol.
the metal knocker is just a little bit too high for you to reach, so you just knock on the door as best as you can. Silence.
Is there a window?
No. Completely
Oh.
windowless.
Shouldn't pick the lock.
How long do you wait before you try again?
Like 30 seconds.
Stand there. Stand there. Just kind of waiting. People are just kind of coming and going. Nobody's really noticing your presence in front of this weird door. Try it again. The door opens, and there is a very, very finely dressed human man standing there with a tobacco pipe in his mouth. Looks down at you, kind of like very fine kept hair. Some sort of product has definitely been run through it. And he takes a big draw of his pipe. Do you have an appointment?
You found the brothel. No!
I'm glad I'm not there.
Oh no!
What do you know? I passed
I mean,
by
that'll
your
be
building
great
last
for
night,
business.
and I didn't. I passed by your building last night, and I didn't realize didn't know exactly what it was with your sign. I was just kind of curious.
Make a persuasion check.
$14.
You didn't know of this place, and you let your curiosity get the better of you.
I'm pretty good at that one.
Curiosity killed the cat.
Oh my goodness.
Well, unless you have an appointment, Mr. Trench is not taking visitors at this time, but I can certainly set you up with one.
White, a show name.
Mr. Trench?
Yeah, you guys are the worst.
I have to say, it is better than like candy or.
Now, what exactly does Mr. Trench do?
You're asking for it.
Perhaps if you make an appointment, you'll find out.
Well, would I make an appointment if I don't know what he does?
Mr. Trench is a finder of secrets.
Oh my goodness.
An investigator of sorts.
I feel like he's gonna go all Sherlock Holmes. I gotta investigate.
But also, where we just purchased the Troll Skull Manor just down the way.
And he
And
like pokes his head out from around the door. Curious.
we plan on turning it back into a tavern. And we didn't know if we're just cottage meeting the neighbours, essentially.
Well, very nice to meet you.
It's nice meeting you.
Good day.
Good day.
No one said any names. No.
No.
You're just the gnome down the road.
Yep. Perfect.
Oh my gosh.
How much
And
would
with
it cost for Faylee to come out of the bakery with just an armful of sweet, like, cakes and cookies and...
10 silver pieces.
A pretty good like amount, like enough to stock you for a while, would probably be like 2 silver pieces. Yeah. So inside of this bakery, like before you even step inside, you guys have noticed this a little bit, but it's been hard to point out just because you've been wandering around the city at night. But the moment that you get within like 2 or 3 steps of this bakery, just the beautiful scent of freshly baked breads, pastries.
But we're right across the street.
You are.
My favorite snack.
It's a beautiful smell to behold, and as you go inside, it's like got this almost beautiful haze as like the ovens are like, it's almost like slow motion. Like there's these 2 dwarves just kind of like sliding pieces of bread out. Glowing embers whisper from this beautiful bread. You see another female dwarf just kind of like carving into a large slice of cake off to the side.
Should have been taken.
Oh, hello there. What, can I get something for you? And it's seems to be tended to by 2 dwarves, 1 male, 1 female, both of them with like rather large aprons, kind of short, stocky. The male dwarf, it's kind of interesting. He doesn't actually have a beard. That's typically what you would notice out of them. Completely clean shaven.
Keep it out of the bread.
The female one there is also wearing a rather large apron. And make a quick perception check for me.
Me as well.
Man.
Since I'm there.
That is 12.
I have an
22.
18.
Okay, so the both of you notice that this female dwarf is kind of like almost hobbling around a little bit, and definitely looks a little wider than any dwarves.
So
that you've
she's
seen.
preggers.
She's preggers.
Oh my
Oh, this is precious.
How did I end up in a brothel? You guys are in a pregnant bakery.
Get it? There's buns in the oven.
Faylee's too busy drooling, not literally drooling, but like staring at all of the cakes and cookies and delicious baked goods, so she doesn't notice.
Hi, we're the new owners of the
Troll
Skull
Troll
Man.
Skull Manor across the street.
How are you? Well, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you ever need supplies or anything, we'd be certainly happy to give you a discount.
I think that might be something we take you up on. But of course, you see that there's a lot of work to be done, so it'll be a little bit, but we're excited.
Well, wonderful. Here, let me get you some crumpets and tea. And he turns around, kind of like out of a small warming oven, grabs a couple of like small little crumble cake crumpets, kind of like a lemony glaze over top of them, sets out a couple of teacups, black tea, and starts pouring you guys some and invites you to take a seat.
Well, thank you so much. How much do we owe you?
Oh, it's on the house. Think of it as a housewarming gift.
Well, thank you very much. So how long have you been here?
Well, we've owned the Boulder's Parchment Shears Bakery for... Gosh, honey, how long has it been? And she, like,
just
looks over at
realized
him and, like,
it's
holds up all of her fingers up in the air. He's like, probably close to 10, I'd say, yes.
You guys have done a great job with the place.
It smells amazing.
Thank you. It's our pride and joy, at least our biggest pride and joy for now.
Oh.
Oh yeah? You have a new pride and joy?
Well, it's hard to say how much longer, but the doctors have told us about 2 months now. And she kind of like looks down at her stomach and kind of like gently starts to kind of rub it.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Unfortunately, she can't exactly celebrate as much. It's a typical dwarven cultural thing to save your energy and try and not speak as much as you can.
Understandable.
Please do excuse Anbara, as she probably won't be discussing with us much.
That's perfectly fine. Thank you
And
so
your
much
name,
for your
sir?
hospitality.
Orsic.
Yeah, give me your names too.
What?
You guys never give me your names.
I'm Shava.
Pleasure to meet you, Shava.
Bailey kind of finally snaps out of the staring at all of the baked goods into her usual very almost courtly sort of rendition. Does a bow. I'm Bailey Windsinger. It's a pleasure to meet your acquaintance.
To meet your acquaintance.
Make your acquaintance.
I'm Sterling Silver.
Pleasure to make your friendship. I hope you
Oh, girlfriend.
I'd love to welcome you into the neighborhood. Will you be staying in the tavern for the time being? Or?
For the moment, I don't.
We're not
think
sure
so.
if it's able to be completely lived in yet. It does have quite a bit of cleaning up to do and repairs.
I see.
But thank you very much, and please let us know if we can help you at all.
You're entirely welcome, and I'm sure that we'll work something out in the future. But for the time being, let's just call this a good start.
What are your favorite things to bake? I would like to try them all.
Well, I tend to handle the breads, and Anbara tends to handle all the sweeteries. Her personal favorite is a type of lemon poppy seed cake.
Ooh, it sounds delightful.
I do love a nice Asiago cheese encrusted
Ooh,
bread.
yes.
Delicious.
Delicious.
I'm getting hungry.
I am too.
There's more cake.
But now I want like bread.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go home and just dive into the bread I have at home.
Well, if there's anything that I can do to be of assistance, please let me know. But otherwise, we'll be here. We're always here.
I take a bite in whatever you
Crumpets.
Crumpets. And I'm just like, you guys need to try this.
And it is.
Bailey just pulls out her money.
They give you all of the money.
No good here for today.
Well, then I will come back
Okay.
tomorrow and promptly buy one of everything. Everything that appeals.
All right, so you guys make your way back out of the bakery with a few pastries in hand. Meet back up.
I like
With-
them so much.
I love them. I'm gonna go home and draw fan art of a pregnant dwarf and
Oh,
her
I
husband.
can think of. Don't tell me you did not get inspired.
Oh, I certainly did.
Yes, you did.
What is it?
Kiki's Delivery Service.
Oh.
The Cookie Pan Bakery.
So can I just basically give them the synopsis of what happened with the...
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
just
guys
gonna-
can fill each other.
Just explain to you guys what happened up there and just... It was a little weird.
We met the most precious family I've ever met in my whole life.
They talked about giving us discount if we need stuff.
And it
Well,
smells
maybe
really
we
good.
can be like business partners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did tell me that he finds secrets. That could be useful if we need it.
Yeah. You're welcome to go find out.
You're welcome to go investigate this trench of secrets.
You guys all have a dirty mind.
I mean, it's either a brothel or a private eye that doesn't want to be known about, so.
Do you want to go see your friend with the bookstore?
Yes.
Or you can tell us about the property.
Yes.
Okay. You go down the street, and the sign for this particular building is right here. So there's a gold dragon curled around a large treasure hoard of books and scrolls.
Oh, cool.
With very beautifully scribed words, the bookworm's treasure over
Get
the
it?
sign.
Worm.
Like W.
Dragon. Ha!
You step inside, and it's like, no matter where you go, you step into a bookstore, and it's like that smell of like parchment, ink, a little bit of dust is thrown in there.
It's that beautiful bookstore smell.
And you step inside, and the walls are just entirely lined with scribes' notes tucked in between books, completely covering the walls, and every single little aisle and shelf has got some sort of piece of parchment or writing utensil or general wealth of knowledge that you find yourselves in. And when you walk inside, you hear a little ding, 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 ding. Coming! And you hear the sounds of like wheels. Shh. As he's like, you see this person like gliding almost as if it's downhill on a little library ladder.
Yeah.
These are cool.
I want one of those at Best Buy so
Like
bad
Ollivander.
sometimes.
Welcome to the Bookworm's Faylee, right?
Yes.
Oh, it warms my heart to see you again. Oh, you were outside too. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Sterling.
Fish.
Faylee, Sterling, you grace me with your presence. How can I be of service? And he climbs back down off of the ladder. And you see his outfit that you saw him carry or wearing the other day was like lined with books. This one, even on the exterior, has like pockets absolutely shoved full of like notes, parchment, all sorts of stuff. How can I be of service?
We were coming to look for history of
Yeah.
Transylvania, right?
I'm
You're
in that and
hoping-
you're just to nerd out.
Is there like any books on?
For any sort of
Information.
historical
Old school
documents,
more,
etc., so
yeah.
forth, that, or even just knowledge that you're aware of. I'm sure with a wealth of writing such as this, and she starts trailing off and kind of
There's writing.
Do you have any
Staring.
information about the manor that we purchased at all?
Nothing comes immediately to mind. However, I do have many scrolls of the many historical buildings in Waterdeep. I can certainly try and dig some up for you.
If you would be so kind, that'd be very helpful.
Certainly
like
try my best.
Bailey has wandered off and is now just like running her hands across all the books on the
Like,
wall
oh, this one is
in
titled
awe.
this. This one is titled
Well, I
this.
mean, this is basically like the most incredible store you've been in, right? Like you spend your entire life in this shrine, just getting whatever books you can from from various traveling vendors, and now you are literally encompassed by this thing that you love. So it's quite a sensation. Rashal kind of like looks down and like nods understandingly as you continue your way down the path.
Found the
And it's
husband,
like-
guys.
as you continue your way down the path, and he's like, I know the feeling. I had it once myself.
Only once? That sounds sad. Oh.
Pardon my rudeness. I'm Shaba. I'm Faylee's cousin.
Pleasure, Rashal.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Jamor. And I'm just gonna like stick my hand up. It's about as high as I can reach.
Nice to meet you. And he like puts his hand out as like an open palm, like having to kneel down to you because he's a dragonborn, so he's like
Yeah.
tall.
Yeah.
Pleasure. Do you have any types of special interests or anything that I can point you towards apart from trying to find something for you about the manor?
Animals.
Animals. Well, I certainly do have many tomes on animals. Were you looking for like sketches, drawings? Were you looking for biological data or?
Guidebooks would be a good
Yeah,
idea.
guidebooks are kind of more my thing. Because, I just have a way with nature and animals that I just like to continue to learn.
Well, let's see. And he he kind of like runs his hand up through like one or two shelves and pulls one down. The flora and fauna of the Sword Hills, is that any type of interest to you?
Flora is plants, fauna is animals of the Sword Hills, which would be a location. I don't know what that location is in terms of
well, obviously hilly terrain, so it'd be stuff like goats and maybe like different types of like hunting cats.
Sure,
and
I'll
stuff like
take a
that.
look at it.
Certainly. You can take a look or you could purchase it. This particular tome would be, and he looks on the inside of it, 2 gold for this particular one if you'd like to take it with you.
Sure, 2 gold.
Okay.
Why not?
And in the meantime, he says, it will take a bit of digging to find any history of your new home. I hope you understand that it's not exactly something that I have immediately on hand, but I will certainly make it a priority to find for you.
If it means looking at books, I'll help.
I could always do with a little bit more organizational help. Are you looking for any part-time employment, or?
If it has to do with books, I'll do anything.
All right.
Just like I'll in the place.
God.
I feel like we're in high school again. Goodness.
I could use a good scribe if your handwriting's up to it.
I think it is. Would you like me to write a small sample?
If you wouldn't mind. And he pulls out a piece of parchment and ink pot for you.
Is there anything you'd like me to write?
The quick brown fox jumps over the lazy dog.
Apt.
It's every character in the alphabet.
So she writes it out. Would you like me to translate this
Really?
odd little
I never
sentence
noticed that.
into any other languages? I know that my handwriting might not be the best in Celestial. It's kind of new to me, so
You understand Celestial.
I'll just go with that.
Well, I can certainly see us having a very fruitful relationship in the future.
This could be a translator.
Wait, do you know Gnomish by chance?
She knows Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Sylvan.
Wow. Okay. Fair enough.
Well, I'm good.
You'll be incredibly helpful then. Well, perhaps we can work out a time for you to come and assist me then.
I would love to.
Wonderful. We'll talk about that later, but in the meantime, if there's anything else I can do for you, please let me know. And I will try and track down some information for you.
Thank you.
You're entirely welcome.
Tra-la-la-la.
Do
And
you have any books of old songs that I might purchase?
songbooks.
Like duets and stuff?
I can certainly take a look. Were you looking for anything in particular, or any particular languages, genres? Something from a musical, perhaps, or sheet music?
Anything from this town? Or old songs from this town?
Wonderful. I can
Anything
certainly do my
tired?
best to try and find something for you. I'll have something for
Kind
you
of
by
sounds
tomorrow.
goofy.
Okay.
I just think it's funny that I got slapped by a frog.
Good day. You guys make your way out. You guys want to
Really have a
visit?
part-time job.
Do you guys want to take a look anywhere else before we call it a
Are
night?
there any enchanter shops?
Make a roll a d20.
You got a 14.
Not in this particular area, but you do know that in the trade ward, there is a shop you haven't really been to before, but you know that it's like renowned for this famous enchanter working there.
Okay.
That can imbue enchantments into things, can create magical items. There's this place known as the Invulnerable Vagrant in the trade ward.
Would you guys want to go there?
Doesn't matter.
Sure.
Okay, so we're heading out of this entire area here to go check out this enchanter shop.
Can we just do like a brief walk past all these stores so that we know what they are?
Yeah, so roughly, the Bent Nail, you get a grasp for being a sort of carpentry shop, general woodworking, cask making, that sort of thing. There's that. Steam and Steel is a workshop for metallurgy. Karametra's Crown is hard to get a grasp on, but you take a look upstairs and you notice that most of these buildings are like buildings. The third floor of this particular building is more like a greenhouse. The Zephyr Post seems to have birds coming in and out all over it. And Fruin's Brews seem to be another type of tavern.
Gotcha. Okay.
So you go into the trade ward, and you see this large, very elaborate looking building. with all sorts of like strange magical incantations going off. There's like gusts of wind blowing banners up into the air, kind of like the wavy arm inflatable tube man's, almost, with a caption, "The Invulnerable Vagrant" on it. You walk inside and you hear another ding ding ding, and there seem to be 3 large figures standing behind a counter. One's helping somebody out over here. Rather large, bulky, imposing figures, almost stocky, very much. And one of them turns around, and you see this kind of like big oafish face. Technically, it's called a furbog, but it's like almost like a cow person in D&D terms, like standing upright on both legs, kind of like a flat nose, almost. Sort of blue hinted skin. He says, "Well, hello there."
Hello, my name's Jim Order. I'm gonna reach and shake his hand.
Oh, you're a little one, aren't you? Well, nice to meet you, Jim Order.
Nice to meet
What
you.
brings you up into the Invulnerable Vagrant?
Was told you do like enchanting and stuff along those lines there.
Oh, we do enchanting. Oh, we do enchanting. The other one turns around, and it's the exact same guy standing there up on the ladder, like looking down. And you see the both of them like standing at each other, like completing each other's sentences, like looking down at you. It's almost like looking into a mirror.
It's amazing.
What can I do for you there, little guy?
I didn't know what you guys had for sale.
Oh, we got a great many things for sale. Yeah, we got a great many things, I do say. Were you looking for anything in particular? Potions? Scrolls? Enchanted items?
More along the lines of enchanted items.
Oh, I can certainly do a couple of those. What kind of item were you looking for? Some type of weapon?
If you have anything in that line.
And then the third one that's helping out another customer turns around. It's the exact same guy. Oh, we got weapons. By the way, my name is Enchanter Pumat Soul. I too am Enchanter Pumat Soul. Third one. And I too am Enchanter Pumat Soul.
This is amazing. I love this place.
Enchanted weapons. We've got all sorts of things. You bring us the weapon, we bring you the enchantments.
So what do your enchantments run?
Well, it depends on what type of incantation you want. Do you want something that's going to deal a little bit more damage, or do you want something that's going to deal an elemental blast?
Oh, that might be fun.
Oh dear.
Now what about an elemental blast?
Oh, we could certainly make that happen. It depends on, the type of elemental that you'd like to be summoning inside of your weapon. But we can do things like a fiery blast inside of it for, say, 1,500 gold pieces. Which I think is a rather fair sum.
That's fair.
If you had 1,500 gold pieces, we could completely repair this.
It seems like we sticker shocked you a little bit, and I do apologize for that, but you gotta understand it is only the finest
so
of quality
angry.
at the Invulnerable Vagrant.
That's totally understandable.
Plus, it would be a custom-made item.
It's nicer
We'd
than
have to
what
get
Edward
old
does to
Pumat
princess.
Prime back there in the workshop working on it.
Pumat Prime.
And in between this little alleyway inside, you do see another one like lean back with like a welding mask on, and he like puts the mask up. He's the exact same guy. Did I hear Pumat Prime? You did, but it's all good. Okie doke.
Oh, that's amazing.
How about a little bit more damage instead of elemental?
Yeah, what about a little bit? How about a little bit more damage?
Well, a simple enchantment like that, I could even throw that one together for you. We wouldn't even have to bother Prime. What's that? Nothing. Have you got your weapon on you?
Hey, it's this little dagger.
I see. Well, I can certainly make it stab a little bit more, I'd say, for paltry 150 gold pieces.
Alright.
That's definitely cheaper than an elemental
That's
blast.
very true. Alrighty then. Maybe think a little bit on it.
Sure. Are you in the need of any types of potions or scrolls?
I can't really learn scrolls, can I?
You can... So, like, a scroll would have one specific spell cast on it. You read the scroll however many times, And it lets you cast that spell even if you don't know it. Like, anyone can do it even if they're not
Oh.
That's how I
okay.
killed the
Excuse me. He wasn't there.
spider.
I was there for that.
Oh. Surprise, I killed a big bad guy on accident. Like,
She
like,
one-shotted
really
you
murdered
with
him.
a scroll.
Wow.
My big bad evil guy that the entire campaign was leading up to, she smoked with a scroll.
Nice.
That we would have all died.
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
I rolled very well that day.
It seems like the enchantments you're looking for are a little bit out of your current wheelhouse, if I don't say so myself. He does say so himself. We do have some lesser enchantments we'd be more than happy to bestow on any type of adventuring gear, or we are open for trade possibilities.
It sounds like the whole flaming sword.
Flaming sword thing.
Joe's fucking
Joe's flaming
That was
sword
just a
that
plan.
he
His
died
stick
for.
of false fire.
You wouldn't need any work done, would you?
Oh, we got that handled!
I didn't mean like that. I mean, I could trade services, like if you need something done, like outside of the shop.
Well, I think we got that all covered, thanks. We've got us 3 simulacrums that we can take care of it for.
All right. Worth a shot to ask.
Certainly. That is a nice cloak you got there.
Would you like to tell me a bit more about it? All I know is that it's floaty.
It is a rather floaty piece, but may I take a look?
Of course. I don't know what it is, so...
Well, it seems like here you've got an enchantment underneath an enchantment. See, right now it's just a cloak of billowing. It's got some kind of activation word on it, does it not?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was written somewhere. You know it.
Is it in my notes?
Oh, let's try this one. And he like sets it down on top of the counter, like slaps his hand together. Russian imba. And the cape like just starts taking off and kind of like gently floating. Yep, that'll do it. There you go. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It kind of like pats the other one on the back, and it kind of the cloak gently floats back down. Now, you guys are new here. I'd recognize you if you weren't. So I would say that your first...
So, the one time I didn't take good notes, the notes I wrote for the Cloak of Billing just says red and black floaty cloaks. Floaty cloak seems magical. I don't know, though. The one time I don't write good notes about it.
Now, this particular one does seem to have an enchantment underneath it here. I can remove the billowing to see exactly what that would be, but I do want you to understand, and understand this very well. You will not be able to make this cloak billow again.
So it won't be floaty?
That it will not, except in a very stiff breeze.
That's fine.
Well, I can do that then. And he, like, swipes his hand over it, and you see these magical runes glowing over it, just like almost like evaporating off as he moves his hand over it. Oh, now that's interesting right there. You got yourselves a cloak of elven kind.
Ayo!
That's a nice little item you picked up.
Yay! Where did I find this cloak again?
In the sewer.
Yay! Sewer trash!
Mighty interesting that they'd put an enchantment on top of it. I wonder why that'd be. Anyway. Now, that actually raises the price of such an item by a fair amount, I'd say. If you're willing to part with such a thing, I'd be willing to buy it for about 200 gold pieces.
You'd be the richest one in the party.
I have 400 gold worth of paintings.
Yeah, but
I like this cloak. I am not sneaky. This would make me sneaky, even though I'm the jangliest bitch in this town.
that's fair.
I keep it mine.
It absolutely is your right. It is your item. However, in the future, identifying such a magical item would cost you a bit. Now, that's just the cost of doing business. I hope you understand. I'm not looking
That's
to
fair. You
make
provide
a whole
service.
lot off you. That is entirely true. We do provide a service. Isn't that right? We do provide a service.
Do you practice these in the mirror?
Only in the car on the way to work. I do talk to myself from time to time.
That's fair. We all do.
I just wonder how you keep them all straight.
I don't.
He does it.
Hence, Floon going through 3 different accents. Or not Floon,
Volo?
Volo, yeah.
Hence, Volo going through 3 different accents and 2 names.
Yeah. Now, if there's anything else I can do for you folks, then I'd be more than happy to. We do have a various selection of potions we can help out with. Or if there's something that you need fabricated or you want to put something on lease, I can certainly help with that.
Oh, you could lease an object.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah, I mean, we're only trying to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
Have to
real
keep
life.
you in mind.
Thanks.
Why, certainly.
Hey, Cloak of Elvenkind is an item that I can just add instead of typing it all by hand like I just did.
Oh, cool.
You can have your card back. It's in my inventory now.
I think I'm good.
Well, it was certainly a pleasure to do business with you. Even though I didn't make any money off of this exchange, it was nice to meet you folks.
Nice.
nice
Do I
meeting
have
you.
anything I could give him as a gift for making my thingy good? Oh, hold on.
High five. You can't go wrong
Crisp
with a
high
high five.
Nope. Super broke.
Right then. Have a nice day.
Sorry.
And both of them,
How much-
like,
how
turn
much-
to this other customer that has been, like, just kind of hanging out there.
Even hanging.
Sorry about the intrusion on that one.